Let's talk to Richard Tice, MP, of course, for Reform, Deputy Leader as well. Richard, very good morning to you.
Well, it's morning. Whether it's a good morning, given everything that's going on, is once again a matter of debate. But isn't it interesting? I mean, Starmer's now, frankly, panicking. He's sort of shuffled off to his favourite place, Brussels.
Yeah.
Talk with a whole load of bureaucrats about, frankly, not a lot, as he takes cover from the carnage left behind after his, frankly, outrageous speech, when he literally said, words are not enough against reform, take up arms for action. I mean, if that's not a licence to his nutters, Antifa and the far left to be violent, I don't know what is.
It is really extraordinary that he said those things as the sitting Prime Minister of this country. You know, I said this 2 days ago, Richard. I don't know if you were able to hear what I was doing then. But, you know, for a sitting Prime Minister to be so brazenly threatening and so irresponsible in the encouragement of violence against fellow, Democrats, I find quite astonishing. And I wonder why the police have not actually been knocking on his door and saying, excuse me, you seem to be inciting a bit of violence, Prime Minister.
Well, you're quite right. But of course, we know the answer to that because you've got two-tier policing and two-tier justice under two-tier Keir. And they're all in it together, the leaders of these various elements of the establishment. And, frankly, it's terrifying when you've got a Prime Minister calling for his supporters to take up arms. You've got a Deputy Prime Minister lying about Nigel and just a whole load of nonsense and then coming on and having to apologise for it. You've got multiple cabinet ministers, frankly, libelling and slandering Nigel. I mean, it's a very bad place to take a once highly respected democracy. We are heading down the plug hole under this bunch, and it's pretty terrifying, actually.
Isn't it funny, though, that they seem to be playing the Democrats' playbook from 2020 and also from 2024 and also from 2016, where the Democrats in America tried to label Donald Trump as a racist, tried to label Donald Trump as a fascist. I mean, even now they're still doing it, saying, what Donald Trump wants to be is king of America, and what he wants to do is stop all elections and not have any more. And they're following that path, even having seen the fact that it backfired spectacularly in America, and people who had common sense voted for what they saw was freedom and Donald Trump.
When the Deputy Leader of Reform UK stands up on live television and carefully breaks down the government's entire net zero agenda, while also accusing Labour of trying to silence opposition, the political establishment is feeling the pressure. Yesterday, Richard Tice appeared on GB News and delivered what can only be described as a powerful takedown of Ed Miliband's climate policies, Keir Starmer's rhetoric, and Labour's approach to handling criticism. This was not just ordinary political criticism. It came across as a detailed challenge to a government that critics say is struggling under pressure. And what Tice laid out is something many voters will be paying close attention to. Before we get into this intense interview, a quick favor. If you are enjoying this breakdown of Westminster politics, hit that subscribe button. Shockingly, over 97% of viewers have not subscribed yet. It costs nothing, but it really helps us out. Already subscribed? You are a star. Now, let's get back to it.
Well, that's right. And obviously, you're seeing with Starmer, he's just lashing out all over the place, utterly desperate. I thought it was interesting that Dan Hodges basically says that was his last conference speech.
Yeah.
That may well turn out to be the case. We are absolutely determined to give an electoral thrashing to Labour at the ballot box next May. And then hopefully that'll be the end of him. What replaces him, who knows? But at the end of the day, we're all getting poorer under this lot. But we are having an influence on certain other areas. There is some good news. The Labour Party now talking about making it harder for dependents to come and join people who've given asylum in this country. That's a good thing, making it so they say. And then we've also got the Tories, who just a few years ago introduced Next Stupid Zero, now admitting it was a terrible, catastrophic error, and they're going to scrap it. So once again, Reform are leading the way on all these policies, and that's the optimism that your good listeners and viewers need to take away this morning, Mike.
Yeah. And they do take it away, and they love it, and they love the fact that there are very few places where they can hear the likes of yourself talking, without being interrupted, talking without being contradicted, talking without being questioned and kind of vilified and pilloried as if you're some kind of maniac, because the normal people of this country agree with much of what you say. And a very disturbing story this morning in the Telegraph, written by Gordon Rayner, a very important guy there at the Telegraph, associate editor, saying the Labour Party is facing questions now over alleged payments to journalists and influencers to post social media content that criticises Reform UK. If you didn't know what you know and what I know about the way the media works in this country, you'd be staggered. I'm actually not staggered this is going on. I'm sure it is going on.
Well, that's the sort of thing that you hear about going on in an authoritarian dictatorship like Russia or North Korea. So, whether or not that's where Starmer is taking things, I don't know. All I can say is that, when I'm in my constituency yesterday, at a residence home, and I have sort of 85-year-old residents fuming about the fact that, social care is costing them or their loved ones an absolute fortune, tens of thousands a year, whilst we're sort of taking hundreds and hundreds of illegal migrants across the channel, costing £40,000-50,000 a year, and that's where they see their taxes going. And it's pretty sobering stuff, I have to say, when you hear it sort of portrayed like that. That essentially the care and provision for our elderly and vulnerable in our constituencies is being prejudiced by the cost we're spending on these illegal migrants.
Right. Well, isn't it funny that, until he was elected Prime Minister, Keir Starmer spent most of his life complaining that Britain was broken, basically. And he now, and he now says that it's down to you that Britain is broken because you keep saying it. Well, this is what he used to say a little over a year ago.
I mean, look, we've got to be optimistic. They're starting to talk our language on visas, on indefinite leave to remain. So in reality, they won't actually do anything about it. But we are changing the narrative. And I think that's why actually we're going up and up in the polls, and we will continue to do so, because people won't forgive, they won't forget what the Tories and Labour have done to this country. And the quantity of people saying to me, how can we get an earlier election is truly remarkable. And how this lot survived for another 3 3/4 years. I suppose that's another hope of optimism. People say it's another 4 years. Actually, it's not. I'm counting every month down. It's 3 3/4, Mike. We need to take some hope.
When Reform UK's deputy leader steps onto live television and methodically dismantles the government's net zero strategy while accusing Labour of attempting to shut down dissent, it signals rising pressure across the political landscape. Richard Tice's appearance on GB News quickly turned into a forceful critique of Ed Miliband's climate agenda, Keir Starmer's messaging, and what he framed as Labour's handling of opposition voices. This wasn't routine political sparring. It sounded like a direct, structured challenge aimed at a government critic's claim is beginning to strain under mounting scrutiny. The points he delivered were sharp, deliberate, and crafted to resonate with voters who are watching closely as the debate intensifies. Before diving deeper into the interview, a quick note. If you're following these breakdowns of Westminster politics, consider subscribing. A huge majority of viewers still haven't, and while it's free, it makes a real difference in supporting the channel. If you're already subscribed, you're greatly appreciated. Now, back to the interview and the moment that's turning heads.
Well, this is it. I worked out the other day, they're actually 25% in to their period of supposed occupation of Downing Street. As you know, I've been saying for a long time, I don't think they'll make it. I don't think they'll last that long. Certainly Keir Starmer won't. What about this? Talking of net stupid zero, as you call it, front page of the Times today, Britain blows £1 billion on turning off turbines during high winds. So we spent £1 billion this year alone to not actually get any power from these wind turbines. What the hell is going on?
Oh, and by the end of the year, it'll be way more than that. And even the eco-zealot lovers and various government departments admit that the cost of these, what they call constraint payments or balancing payments to pay the operators to turn this very old technology. I mean, these wind turbines, I mean, it's 300-year-old technology, for heaven's sake. it's not exactly cutting edge. And yeah, these constraint payments are going to be billions and billions of pounds of taxpayers' cash. It's an outrage. And then you've got that Red Ed Miliband, bless him, ridiculously saying that he's going to ban the extraction of shale gas. This is literally our energy treasure that we all own under our feet, that gives us competitive low energy prices, and he wants to stop it. I mean, the guy is he's an economic vandal.
Yeah.
He really is. And he's destroying hundreds of thousands of jobs up and down the country. And it's an absolute disgrace. Just in Lincolnshire alone, we've got the Lindsay oil refinery that's in receivership. And his ideology means that he's trying to prevent a sale to bidders who want to buy the whole site, thousands of jobs at risk. I mean, we're battling every day against this complete madness.
Yeah, it is madness. And, you'll have seen him yesterday having to go at Elon Musk. You'll have seen him doing this weird sort of catwalk video up and down on the promenade at Liverpool. You've seen him with his ukulele. You've seen him talking absolute and utter rubbish. You've seen Jürgen Meyer.
What was this clip all about? I mean, what is he doing here?
I've no idea what he's doing. He's trying to appeal to young people, right? Because he thinks that if he does this on TikTok, because they've all got these ridiculous advisors who go, this is how you get in touch with the young. I don't know anybody who thinks Ed Miliband is not a complete plonker, right? Who's under the age of about 20. They all think he's an idiot. And by the way, everybody over the age of 20 thinks he's an idiot as well. The guy needs to sit down and shut up. But this is what tells you about the Labour government. The vast majority of people in the Labour Party think he's the next leader. They think he's the future.
Actually, to be candid, I mean, I think our poll rating would soar even more if he becomes the leader.
I know.
But here he is. For those not actually watching but listening, there's this video of Miliband sort of prancing up.
When Reform UK's deputy leader steps onto live television and methodically challenges the government's entire net zero strategy while accusing Labour of trying to sideline opposition, it signals mounting pressure on the political establishment. Richard Tice's appearance on GB News quickly turned into a hard-hitting critique of Ed Miliband's climate policies, Keir Starmer's rhetoric, and Labour's broader direction. This wasn't routine political commentary. It was framed as a sweeping challenge to a government critics say is already facing growing scrutiny, raising questions that many viewers are now weighing carefully. Before going further, a quick note. If you're enjoying this breakdown of Westminster politics, consider subscribing. A large majority of viewers still haven't, and while it's free and takes seconds, it helps keep the channel running. If you're already subscribed, you're greatly appreciated. Now, back to it. Picture Richard Tice calm and composed in the GB News studio, delivering his points with measured intensity. He began by highlighting what he described as concerning language in Starmer's recent remarks, arguing that a prime minister must choose words carefully in a tense climate and that unclear rhetoric risks being misinterpreted and setting an unhelpful tone. From there, he pivoted sharply to net zero, criticizing what he portrayed as an approach that imposes significant costs domestically while major economies continue emitting at scale, suggesting voters may question policies that bring heavy burdens without clear global impact. He then turned directly to Miliband, portraying him as disconnected from everyday pressures and arguing that decisions affecting millions should prioritize practical realities alongside long-term ambition. The conversation intensified further when Tice alleged that Labour had backed online campaigns targeting Reform UK through influencers. He offered no detailed evidence during the segment, but said the claims would raise serious concerns about transparency if ever substantiated, leaving them as allegations that nonetheless heightened the debate. What made the interview notable was the way he linked multiple themes: rhetoric, economic pressure, climate policy, and political strategy, building a broader narrative of a government facing criticism from several angles. Reaction online was immediate, with clips spreading rapidly, supporters praising his direct delivery, critics disputing his claims, and renewed arguments over costs, impact, and realism dominating discussion. Ultimately, the appearance landed as more than a standard TV slot. It demonstrated how assertive, focused messaging can influence the conversation and whether his arguments persuade or not. Exchanges like this are shaping the debate in real time while Westminster watches closely.
Camera.
I'd say mincing more than prancing.
Mincing. Okay, mincing up to the camera, thrusting out one hip in front of the other. Some very strange look. I mean, God forbid you might actually see him in a dance or in a nightclub. I mean, the place would evacuate immediately.
I know. It's really quite terrifying. I'm gonna give you a little gift just before you go. This is Beth Rigby, who I'm not a massive fan of, nailing Keir Starmer yesterday when he was out trying to sort of cover up the massive mistake he made by attacking Nigel Farage. And she gets him here on whether or not he thinks Donald Trump might be racist. Have a look.
Donald Trump said under Sadiq Khan, London is being driven towards Sharia law, is it?
No, of course it's not.
Okay.
That's nonsense.
Isn't it that racist as well?
Well, it's nonsense.
Isn't
it's
it racist to accuse a Muslim mayor of driving London to Sharia law?
I'm not going to start down the road of discussing whether things said by others are racist or not.
Well, you just discussed Nigel Farage having a racist policy, so you literally are discussing that.
I have been...
I mean, the guy's so stupid.
All credit to Beth.
Yeah.
She did well there, cornering him and exposing his absolute hypocrisy and frankly lies. I mean, the guy is he will say anything to anybody at the turn of a moment. And this is our Prime Minister. I mean, it's serious.
Well, yesterday he goes out, right, to justify what he said about Nigel Farage and about immigration. And he told more lies about the Dublin Convention, where he made out that, it was Nigel Farage who made us leave the European Union, which is why we've got these boats coming. He called them the Nigel Farage boats. I mean, a complete and utter barefaced untruth that he told, where he said that when the Dublin Convention was in place, we were able to send more people back. Absolute cobblers.
And his complete cobblers, another blatant lie. I reminded myself of the data. In 2016, 17, 18, under the Dublin Convention, wow, we were able to send back to the EU a few hundred, but they sent to us sometimes double or treble that number. And
well, sometimes 6 times. It was like 1,200 one year.
Right, in 1 year. I mean, it's just, this man is a dangerous liar. And a threat to our democracy, the way he's behaving. He's not fit to be Prime Minister, and the sooner he's gone, the better. And then we can have a laugh at Mr. Miliband mincing his way into Downing Street.
Yeah, well, the next chapter will then begin. Listen, Richard, good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. Richard Tice, MP, Deputy Leader of Reform UK.